Well, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. We are on build day, pool build day. Ooh, I'm gonna say 24. Yes, pool build day 24 on a construction schedule of the pool in the backyard of Villa Feliz. It's a beautiful morning here. This is the day after the storm. The skies are blue. Normally when a storm leaves, it just leaves a wonderful high pressure area behind it and makes it really nice for things like building swimming pools. We'll get into that in just a moment. We'll see what we're doing for today. Now, without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Now, as we had a lot of rain yesterday, we were expecting a lot of wind and a lot of rain, but we got mostly a lot of rain. A lot of rain. The most rain I have ever seen in one event here. Now, we had no electricity, so our personal weather station, our PWS up there, was not reporting. So I can't tell you how much rain we actually did get, but I know it was a lot. By evidence of what's inside the pool right now. Now, even though we haven't waterproofed yet, it's holding a lot of water. I guess that's a good thing. So anyway, today's task is continuing with the formwork, get the formwork installed for the bridge, and then I'm sure we will get a pour. The pour will be completed today as well. We have beautiful weather, like I said. So it's a good opportunity to get this part of the project done so they can go to the next part of the project, which is building up the sides a little bit, doing coping, doing waterproofing, doing all the other things that need to be done before we start doing tiling. Okay, so we're just going to keep an eye on what's going on here today. Oh, by the way, we still do not have any electricity. Our electricity was cut off yesterday. I think I timed it at something like 5:47. We lost electricity. Now, although we didn't get a lot of wind, electricity is down everywhere. It's in the barangay, in the city. Maybe it's a precautionary thing that the electric utility company did in preparation for the major typhoon event that was supposed to be really bad yesterday, and we're just glad it wasn't. But we have no electricity right now, so the first thing these guys asked for when they first came in here is when they assumed we had electricity. They don't have it. They're in an apartment outside of the subdivision, and they said, can we borrow your saws, because I'm letting them use like my jigsaw and my circular saw and all the saws that we have to expedite construction here. And I'm like, well, it's not gonna do you any good to have my saw if you don't have any electricity. They're like, oh yeah, that's right. So everything is being done by hand right now, the good old-fashioned Filipino way. So that's what they're doing. Their work is not stopped. A little story I want to share with you that surprised me, but it didn't surprise me this morning, but it might surprise you, is I asked our foreman, who is in an apartment with like 8 other guys out there. Now, I asked him about, did he have any problem with flooding yesterday or winds or anything like that? He said, lots of rain. He said, but no problem with flooding. He said, outside the apartment, the whole yard, you couldn't even see that yard. It was flooded, where they actually had, I think, to make a hole in the back of the fence so that the water could kind of get away from the property. He said, but no, we didn't have any problem with flooding. We only had this much water inside the apartment, so it was okay. I'm like, what? Not surprising over here. Very resilient people. For me, I would be in panic mode. The guys over here is just amazing. So they got that all cleared out. Beautiful morning, and we're back to construct. So something that's important that I don't want to miss the detail is, you can see we have a piece of wood here, a block of wood. Is really a piece of a tree, and one over here, which are centered from side to side and at an angle because of the arch of the pool. That's going to be our encasement for our lights. We're going to have a downward facing light here, one inside that will go underneath the swimming pool. We'll look underneath. So when you are swimming underneath the bridge at nighttime from the 4-foot section to the 5-foot section, you have illumination directly underneath the bridge, and you'll be able to see the drop off because there'll be a drop off on the back side of the bridge further side, so you have a little bit more room on the 4-foot section. So on both sides, this side will be illuminated, and it might be a dark spot on that side, so we'll have illumination on both sides. So you have plenty of light from all different directions. We'll have the colored light down here, the 2 downward lights there. There'll be a light there illuminating this entire 4-foot section. Again, this is going to be an LED that changes colors. That big one over there will be an LED that changes colors. There'll be one over in that section over there where the PVC pipe is kind of sticking out from the wall there that will illuminate the beach pad there, and there'll be one in the base of this pushing this way light illuminating this pad here. So we should have plenty of light in the evening time, so no matter what, any part of the swimming pool, you'll have good visibility. Oh, don't forget, we have the light that's also going to be shining from here up on the palm inside the planter. That's what that little PVC pipe is right there. Alright, so you're probably wondering, how are they going to connect the PVC pipe to the piece of wood, the trunk of the wood that they cut to be the holding spot for where they put the light in the bridge? Well, I'm going to show you. So you see, you can do anything with what you find in the woods. So what he did was he cut a section out here, and you see the PVC pipe. PVC pipe will route through this section right here, and we'll probably do that to the second one over on the other end as well for the full connection from one to the other. But it'll just lay right inside this groove that he cut out with a little saw here. Hey, so don't forget, after you run your GI wire through your tube, that you close it so no concrete gets inside. Just like this. You don't want to clog up your PVC pipe. That's where your wires are going to go through. Make sure you leave enough extra GI wire for your connection to your life support. Anytime you pour concrete over wood forms, make sure you wet it down really good, because if you don't, the wood will actually absorb the water out of the concrete. Alright, so now's the time, all the preparation, doing all the form work. Now it's time to pour the concrete. So they're doing a manual mix over here of the concrete. They'll be dumping into the bridge. We should have a monolithic pour from this foundation all the way across to the other foundation over there, so that we have strength throughout the entire span of this bridge.
Electricity is back on, yay!
Yes, it is like just after 2 o'clock and our electricity just came back on. So maybe about 22 hours, about 22 hours without electricity. Okay, so hopefully it'll stay on this time. It already came back on once today, for a brief moment of about 30 seconds. But so far, so good. The guys are doing some more stuff. Let's go out to the swimming pool and see where they are after they poured the bridge. All right, so finishing plaster coat on the planter. That's one of the things that's being worked on. And you see the lines on the ground. I'm assuming this is going to put the base down before the section for the tiles. Getting a levelness. So you're probably wondering what these lines are right here inside the swimming pool. Well, they're not making rice paddy fields out here. I can tell you that. It might look like it, but it's not. What they're doing here is they're doing leveling. They have a level line that goes across here, that way, and this way. So that will be the basis for the floor. That will be level. It's perfectly level. And then once they get that all done, then they'll come in and they'll fill in this other section right here after this hardens just a little bit. And then you'll just run a little straight edge right here across there, so they'll get a totally straight, nice and flat bottom. And you can see also in the 10-inch section of here, they've already started that as well. You can see the line that they have inside there that has been leveled. And they'll bring up the level of the mortar mix that they have inside here up to that point right there, all the way around. And then probably tomorrow, I imagine that will all get filled in. And this entire section will be leveled. That will be in preparation for the waterproofing, and then the next thing after that will be the tile. So you might be wondering, what is this tan kind of stuff I did over here? I just did a little experiment on my own, and I threw some grouting mix, this tan colored grouting mix on here. I just wanted to see what it would look like if it blended in with the concrete, to see if it looked like maybe a tan color rock formation. The technique that this foreman has used before when he's made things like boulders and things like that, he's used paint on them, and I don't want to do paint. I let him know I want no paint on anything on the construction of the pool. Tile, natural stone, and what I want to do is like a dye, an acid dye for when he runs the concrete here. The acid dye you can mix it up. Now, I'm not an expert on it, but I've read up on it and I've seen the YouTube videos, and they use this kind of an acid that goes inside there with a color mixture inside there, and it stains the color of the concrete. This just regular concrete, to be any kind of color that you want, depending on the mixture that you put in with the acid. And it's permanent. You never have to worry about cleaning. You never have to worry about chipping of paint or anything like that. So I asked them to get with his boss to find out the process to do that, because that's the technique I'm requesting that be done here. I don't want paint. Go for a swim?
Yeah, on the flood water.
Be an optimist. Don't be a pessimist. It's okay if it's flood water. Well, we're going to do what we do on every episode at the end. We're going to do our wrap-up. We're going to wrap up and see what they did today. A lot got done today, day after the typhoon, and we were blessed that we did not have a lot of bad effects from the typhoon. We were very, very fortunate. So anyway, let's go ahead and look inside the pool and do our final wrap-up. Okay, well, the main thing today that was completed was the formwork and the fill of the concrete, the pour for for the bridge. It's there, so it needs a cure. I imagine next couple days, be able to walk on this. It'll be strong enough to walk on to be able to take the formwork down. And this is just a basic concrete pour inside here. Now there are supposed to be planks on here. That is the plan. The foreman said he knows how to make planks out of concrete that look exactly like wood with the grains and all that kind of stuff. Cool. So I'm excited about that when we get to that point. And it will hang over. It will be like an inch and a half, something like about an inch and a half on both sides. So it will look like planks hanging over, planks going all the way up there. That'll look cool. And this is going to be a platform here, like we talked about already. Okay, let's look over here on the other side of the pool. Let's see what was done. So you can see the dark gray area. Everywhere that's dark gray, that's wet, they did something today. So they completed doing the plaster coat around the planter base. They put more plaster coat around our table that's going to be there. They built little hills here. They're going to fill in at a later date, which will be the base level prior to doing any of the tiling. And they did that in the 5-inch section and the 10-inch section over here. So everything's coming along. Oh, and they ran the PVC pipe, the conduit, through the bridge for the 2 light fixtures. The one light fixture that will be underneath there, and the other light fixture that will be there. They'll be pointing down and give us illumination underneath the swimming pool as well. Okay, so that's where we are today. I gotta tell you folks, I really did not think we were gonna even be able to work today. I'm telling you, we were really fortunate. I know what a Category 5 or a Signal 5 hurricane or typhoon can do. I saw what happened in my hometown of Charleston when Hurricane Hugo went through, which was a Cat 5, and it was unrecognizable. So we got lucky again here. It broke down from a Cat 5, a Signal 5, to a 4, to a 3, and then kind of skirted south on us, and then kind of fizzled away, and then went back out into the ocean again without really doing pretty much anything, but mainly lots and lots of water here. So we were real lucky, and so we can continue doing what we're doing here. Now that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on that little MPID Dream heart way down there in the bottom right hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed and you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. So until such time, from right here in the Philippines, you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.